Hi ladies, it's Melissa, and I wanted to tell you how excited I am to have everybody get started on their new and own invoicing system. If you have any trouble getting in touch with me and getting set up to go over things, I thought I would do a quick video to show you step by step how to get set up and what the important pieces are to this. Okay, so step one would be you should be receiving an email if you haven't already from Xero. Okay, so I'm going to click on the link right here that you should all have on the email, and it's going to bring you to this page. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to accept your invite. So you're going to click on that, and here is your new login. Okay, so you'll get to this screen, which is where you'll put in your laundry lady's email address on the top line, and you're going to use your password that you use for your laundry lady's email, and you're going to add the word laundry in all lowercase letters at the end of your password, and you're going to click login. Okay, so once you're logged in, you're going to get to this page here, which is your dashboard. There's a couple tabs, but we're going to start on dashboard. This is going to be where you're going to set up your invoices. You can also check out the video on here that'll explain how to use the system. There's a help article as well. And if that doesn't work and you still need help, you can contact me. Okay, so I'm now going to show you how to set up an invoice, your first invoice. So this box here is where you're going to go. It says add an invoice. Very basic and straightforward. You're going to click on that, and it's going to bring you into this screen. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put your customer's name. Let's start with the name Dave. And the reason I go to this is because there are multiple Daves. You want to make sure that you are picking your correct customer. So let's pick Dave Straight. And our date here is going to be the date of the pickup. It's going to auto-populate to the day you're creating your invoice. So if you picked up the laundry yesterday, which would have been May 3rd, you're going to click on May 3rd. This program is set up to automatically make your due date the following day. If you're not planning on delivering Dave's laundry until Monday, then you can click on Monday the 7th and make that his due date. So you're in control of what day you picked it up and when he needs to pay by. Your invoice number is going to auto-populate. You don't want to touch that. Reference is the most important next to getting your totals correct. Under reference, you want to put in your laundry lady's email address. The reason you want to do this is because the only way I'm going to know whose customer it is and who to send it back to is from that box. So you're going to type in your full laundry lady's email address there. Okay, as far as branding is concerned, right now, I don't want you to worry about this. It should say standard. Just leave that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to item. And when you click on the little arrow on the right-hand side, it's going to pull up all of the common things that we charge for. And all of the pricing that is attached to these is recommended. If you want to change pricing, charge more, charge less, you will have the ability to change anything in here manually. So the first item is regular laundry service, and that is for our regular customers who are currently paying $2.50 a pound. Laundry service is for new customers or customers that are paying a higher price. Here we have the recommended at $3. I'm going to go to quantity, and I'm going to say that Dave Straight had 45 pounds of laundry at $3 a pound. And you'll see that it fills everything in across the board. There's no tax or anything like that. And it shows his total as $135. Oh, but I forgot, he also had a queen size comforter. So a trick here is if you just type in a Q, it's gonna pull it up. You can look for things. If you ironed sheets, you can type in iron, and here you've got your ironing. Standard items, oversized, flat fitted sheets, duvet cover, tablecloths. Anything that you don't see that you would like to see, let me know and I can add items. So he had one comforter, and let's say he had 2 sheets, but I want to charge him more than $5. So I'm going to click on that box, and I can change this to $7. And you can just type in a 7, or you can type in the whole $7. and now you'll see that he's being charged $14 for his sheets. Another thing that I want to mention is, let's say that Dave is a monthly customer and he wants one invoice for the month. You can click next to laundry service here or any of these boxes, and you can put in the date of his first pickup, which would be May 3rd. And we'll put in 2018 just so that we don't get confused. And then if he had another pickup, let's say 2 weeks later, you can add that date here. It's just a good way to keep track. When you're creating these monthly invoices, you don't need to submit it for approval until you're ready to send it. You just save it in your system, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we've completed our invoice, and let's say we are not ready to submit it. You may have to add ironing, but you're super organized, so you've gotten most of it in, but you're not sure it's accurate. All you have to do is hit save. When you save it as a draft, it will stay in your system, and you can still go in and change things. You'll come to this page right here. It says at the top, draft. You have these other tabs that you're not going to need to worry about right now. But what you can do is you can go into this draft invoice and you can view it. So when you click on that, you've got this whole invoice. Okay, so now that you're into your invoice, if you need to add another line, you just click on add a new line. If you need to add 5 lines, you can add 5, you can add 10. So if you had a monthly customer who had multiple pickups, this is how you would give yourself more lines. If you make a mistake, you can go over here and you can hit this little X. So I'm going to take off this laundry service for £1 and it deletes it. So now I'm done. I've done the whole invoice. I'm ready to submit it. So I'm going to click on the green button at the bottom, and submit for approval is what the button says. Okay, so now we're on a new screen, and as you'll see, you don't have any drafts, but you do have one right here awaiting approval. This is where it was sent to the payment processing center, and you're just waiting for it to be clicked on and sent back to your email. So when I click on this, it's going to show the invoice I just created. I believe that you can go back in here and you can actually still make changes if it's awaiting approval. So let's say I've decided I am going to add an oversized item that was ironed for $10, and I'm going to hit save. My price just went to $184 instead of $174, and it's still in the awaiting for approval. Okay, so now I'm showing you a new screen, and this is where your invoice has gone in payment processing. Right here where it says awaiting approval, this is what we will see on this end. I've got one invoice sitting here waiting for approval. So I can click on this and I can approve it here. So your invoice is now approved, and this is how it gets sent back to your laundry lady's email. Don't forget that you have to include this reference right here, because the only way we will know who to send this invoice back to is if you have your email address listed here. Very important. Okay, so now we're back on your screen, and you'll notice that it still says awaiting approval here. Let's say you sent it in and you went upstairs to transfer laundry, or you went to pick up your kids from school, and you haven't refreshed the screen. You have to make sure that you refresh. Most of your computers have a little refresh right up in the corner. And now nothing is awaiting approval, right? It's awaiting payment. So if you click on this tab, you have your customer's invoice sitting here waiting. So when you click on this awaiting payment, you will see that this invoice is awaiting payment. What that means is it's been emailed to you. So if you go into your laundry lady's email, you will have the invoice and you're ready to send it off to your customer. When you see this awaiting payment, however many invoices you have submitted, the number will be right here. What this means is that it has now been sent to your email. So if you go into your email, you're going to get this, and it's going to come from me, and it's what you're used to seeing if you've been running your business. If you're new, this is what your invoice looks like. And it has a link for your customer right here where they can click on this link and they can pay directly from here. When you click on Pay Now, it takes you into PayPal. It does not mean that you have to have a PayPal account. If your customer doesn't want to use their PayPal account or doesn't have one, they can do a guest checkout. And what this means is they're just using their credit card number and it's secured through PayPal. They have to fill out all this information and then they would just hit submit or continue, at the bottom. So how does your client get to this point where they can click on the link in their email? So what you'll do is you're going to forward this email to your customer. You're going to click on your forward button and you're going to put in your customer's email right here. So you're taking your pre-done email that has been sent to you and forwarding it to your customer. But there are a few things you need to do before you send this off. The first thing is you need to delete all the information above the Laundry Lady's logo. You don't want your customer to see that it has been forwarded to you from someone else. It's coming directly from you. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that it has the correct name of who it's getting sent to right here. And if you have anything you want to add to the email, you certainly can. You can add, Dave, I found $10 in your pocket of your jeans and I put it in a Ziploc bag. It's in the basket. So at this point you can add something. You can put, thanks again. It was nice meeting you. If you met your customer, if you talked about something that was a personal situation, you can certainly convey it in your email as well. Oops, skipped my word. And this is where you can personalize it. The other thing that you want to make sure you do is at the bottom, you need to put in your signature. So you can either sign your name every time. If you have an auto signature stored on your computer with your logo, your phone number, your email address, this is where you want to put it. Please don't forget to sign it, otherwise it just says your laundry lady and they don't know who it's from. So this email is a perfect place for you to let your customer know about a promotion you might want to run. This is your business, so if you want to offer them a referral credit, you can include it. If you want to let them know next month you're doing comforters at half price, you can let them know that in this email. Down here at the bottom, you will see a little paper clip. If you click on that, you can also share files. You can add a photo if you want to take a picture of their laundry and send it to them. This says you can insert animated GIFs or GIFs, depends on how you pronounce it. And it's your business, so you can put whatever you want in here. This red box right here, this is the same invoice that the customer will see. It's just a PDF. It can't be changed. A lot of companies like to print those. The other one is not a PDF. It's just from the cloud. This one that they would click on and look at. Okay, so your customer has now paid their invoice. And you don't know that they've paid because they clicked on the link and paid with their credit card. How you do know is I just clicked on awaiting payment. There was a little 1 right here. And when I clicked on it, it changed to 0. And so now, if I click on paid, it shows that it's done and he's paid. So when I click on this invoice again, if I wanted to look at it, it shows that the payment was made on May 4th of $184. And you're done. You know that that customer's paid and you've just earned your percentage on this invoice. So now you know that you can go deliver this customer's laundry. So I'm going to take you back to the dashboard. When you click on that link, you're going to get to this page. And the great thing about this is that the same information that you've been sending through text to have an invoice created, you're just putting directly into this app or on your computer, and you're in charge of your own invoice. You're also going to be able to know when it's paid. You're not going to have to wait for a text saying that the customer has paid. There are a couple ways for you to figure that out. You can click on awaiting approval, and you'll get to these tabs, and you can click on paid. And you'll see that Dave Straight has paid, and you can go deliver your laundry. Another option is you can go to accounts, click on here, go to my sales, and it'll show you have no drafts, you have nothing awaiting approval. All of these say none, but right above invoices it says paid. You can click on that and it's going to have a list of all of your paid invoices. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, since most of you are going to be working off of your mobile devices, I have an iPhone, so it might look a little different on an Android, but it all should work the same. Here's my Xero app right here. I'm going to tap on that. I've set it up to go right into my page. You will have an option of putting your fingerprint in or having a 4-digit code, whatever you want, you can set it up that way. And so here I've got sales, my invoices, and all invoices. Here's a bunch of invoices that have been created that are listed under that tab. You'll see down at the bottom, you've got sales, purchases, and contacts. You can play around, you can click on buttons, look at how it's all set up. The contacts, eventually when you are getting your own pickup forms, you'll be able to put contacts in yourself. So what I wanted to show you is how to set up an invoice. What you're going to do is you're going to go to this little plus sign at the top and you're going to create an invoice. Click on Create Invoice. Who is it for? Well, this one we're going to type in the letter G, A, I. Okay, there's a Gail. We're going to pick Gail Larbos. She has a due date of tomorrow, but actually I did her laundry yesterday. So I'm going to click on where it says due May 5th, and it's going to bring up this calendar. I'm going to click on invoice date, because that's the date we want to record as the day you picked up the laundry. And it automatically is going to make the due date tomorrow. If you want to change the due date, you just click on that box and you can change your due date. But I'm going to keep it the same. Your invoice number is always going to be the same. You're not going to touch that. It's going to automatically create an invoice number for you. Before you add your items and your quantities, you're going to go to optional details. Right there, you've got two options, add a reference or branding theme. You are going to add a reference. This is where you're going to put in your laundry lady's email address. I'm going to type mine in. Now on your own phone, it should eventually auto-populate down at the bottom after you do it a few times. I've noticed on mine it took a few times before I did it. Whoops, laundry ladies. .com. That is the most important thing because now I know who sent me the invoice and where to send it to. Next thing is to add your items. Click on that button. Here's all your item descriptions. Laundry service. We'll do 10 pounds. Got that in. Adding another item. Let's say we've got an oversized item ironed. Let's say it was a large duvet. What you can do is click right on that line and you can add information. You can write duvet so that your customer knows that's what they're being charged for. And we'll say that they had just one. Now I can hit this little check mark in the right corner and that's done. To get back to your front page, you just hit new invoice. And now we've got Gail's invoice. It's due today. This is my email address. These are the items that she's being charged for. And you are done. One thing I just want to reiterate is once you've added all of your descriptions and your items, you need to get back to the front page of your invoice. And this button up here says new invoice, which can be confusing. Think of it as the arrow is back. You're going back to your new invoice, which you've just created, and that will bring it up. Then you'll be able to save it, which is where you'll hit save, and you're going to hit submit for approval if you've completed the invoice and you are ready to have it approved. If you still have ironing that you haven't counted and you just wanted to get this stuff in, you can hit save, and then you can go back into this invoice and add items and then submit for approval. So we're going to submit for approval. Okay, so your customer has now gotten their invoice through text or email, and they've clicked through and paid, and you go back into your app under sales and you click on all invoices and it shows up as paid. It shows as done, and that's how you know that all of these are handled. We can click on hers and you can take a look at it, and you can see that her payment was made today for $40. Okay, so I know that seems like a lot of information, but I promise you it is such a simple app, really easy website, and once you do 1 or 2 invoices, it's going to be smooth sailing. My kids do them for me in the car when I'm driving, and they don't even need my assistance anymore. So I'm excited that everybody's going to have their own system, and I think that you're all going to really love the efficiency it's going to bring, and I just look forward to growing our businesses together.